So what does this look like to you? Two guys, a bar, drinks after work. Could be mentoring, maybe. Who knows, right? Could be. We do that a lot. What about this? Could be mentoring, or it could be something more romantic or a date, right? And so this is one of the challenges when we think about men maybe stepping up and mentoring women in particular. How do we mentor women? Where do we mentor women? When do we mentor women in particular, right? And we have to be thoughtful about that in our society in particular, right? We talked to one of the senior vice presidents at Goldman Sachs, and he said that he realized after a long period of time that he wasn't able to kind of sustain mentoring with women because after a while I figured they were turning him down on opportunities to get together to talk about their careers and their work and everything they needed to be doing. And he realized it was because he was only doing it at night or after work and usually at the bar. And all the guys were there, of course. They all wanted to be there. But the women, other reasons, weren't doing that. And they had their own reasons for why. So he went to what he calls his breakfast lunch policy. He only mentors at breakfast, and he only mentors at lunch, and he only does it in public places, right? Over coffee or whatever, so everybody can see it. And he does it for men, he does it for women, he doesn't care what color you are, what your sexuality is, he does it the same for everybody. So we talk a lot about transparency and consistency being really important as you think about the structural part of mentoring and how you're doing the mentoring out there. Let me give you one more of those. The where you mentor, we've already heard some stories today about the golf course. So think about what time of day you're mentoring, what day of the week you're mentoring, and some of this mentoring is often done in kind of social settings. The golf course, for example, is one. And this is where we share insider knowledge, we share hidden politics, and as we all know, as you change from organization to organization, you really need that to be able to navigate it, get that insider information to accelerate your way up there. So we need to think about where and how we're doing this. One of the senior vice presidents at KPMG, she shared a story with us about how when she finally became a partner and she got invited to the retreat with all the other partners. It was a weekend, it was done well in advance, she was there, she had everything taken care of for her family. Guess what? They did it at, and this is back when they had them, the all-male exclusive golf club. So everywhere she went, she had to be escorted by somebody. And then at the end of the night, when they were doing cigars and brandy or whatever in the cabin, of course she wasn't invited. So we have to be, as mentors, we have to be thoughtful about who's included and who's excluded as we're thinking about, as we look around the room and we do this. The meetings in the boardroom, the table, who's at the table, who's not. Robert Lightfoot, again, very important, making sure that his mentees got a seat at the table, not in the back row, not in the seat, not two rings back, but at the table when it was something that they were involved in. If it was part of their program, something they should be involved in with resources, their decision making, they had a seat at the table. And we all know that, again, the research shows that when women are contributing in meetings, they're often not given due credit. We've heard this over and over again. Almost every woman had a story about how they had this idea, this contribution, it got glossed over. 3 guys later, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. As men, people of position and power, we have to stand up for what's right there. And we have to go, hey, wait a minute. And Robert shared a story with us about how he did this at a meeting. He's like, wait a minute. How is this any different than what Kathy just said over here? And get her credit. Sheryl Sandberg was gracious enough to work with us, and we did an interview with Sheryl for the book. I'll share one story from Sheryl because I think it's really important and this kind of goes to the sponsoring piece, it's kind of the sponsoring, mentoring, that as mentors or sponsors, we have to kick down doors and we have to really showcase what our mentees are doing out there. And Sheryl's story was about Larry Summers when he was the secretary, and this is a positive story, so hopefully we'll enjoy it. Larry, when he would be out there and Sheryl was his assistant right out of Harvard, he would say all these great stories about her, how great Sheryl is doing this, he couldn't live without her for doing this, and it was just wonderful. And Sheryl, after a while, she pulled him aside and she said, Mr. Secretary, you've got to stop doing that. And he's like, what? You're embarrassing me every time we go out. You're just boasting about me, right? And again, women are socialized not to self-promote. So this, again, is where mentors, we can help them, right? We know we do this for others. We have to do it for, again, our diverse workforce as well. And it wasn't always easy for Sheryl, but after a while, she kind of understood what Larry was doing for her. Last couple slides, and I'm going to finish up here. We often think about mentoring as being this one-dimensional, kind of top-down, all-knowing guru who's going to take all the information out of their head and give it to you. That might be. In today's world, I think most of us know that we don't have one mentor. Most of us probably have many mentors. I have men who mentor me. I have women who mentor me. I have lots of mentors, and I have them for different areas of my life as well, my professional and personal life to help. So one of the good things that mentors can do is if we retain a little bit of humility and understanding that we don't have all the answers. If there's an area that she needs help, get her the help, right? Get her the connection. Get her to that person that can help her do that. Help her to broaden that network out there. And when she does succeed, because she will fly higher because of it, don't be jealous of her success. So what I would tell you as I leave you today is we want to change the name That Guy, because that guy has such a negative connotation. And Brad and I like to talk about it. We want you to be that guy. We want you to be that guy who approaches mentoring very thoughtfully, right? And with some gender humility, that I don't know all the answers. I don't know all of her experiences. I can't necessarily assume just because she's a woman that she needs this. So approach it with a little bit of gender humility and with a learning orientation, that I can actually learn something from my mentee. One of the great things we heard from so many male mentors was, gosh, you know, I really feel, you're telling all these stories, I really feel guilty because I think I got more out of the relationship than she did. I learned more, I think, than maybe she did. So approach each one, be that guy out there, and use your gender humility and learning orientation to get more out of it. So I hope I didn't go too far over here. I piqued your interest to talk about mentoring. It's something that we don't do enough of. A lot of us do mentoring, and we don't get enough training and enough time to be thoughtful about how we do it. So if nothing else, please do it for her, do it for your organization, and do it for yourself and your family. Thank you.